This guy wants to break you, humiliate you, stomp you into the ground. Now what are you going to do about it?
Really? People thought this was bad? And it's like, God, yeah, I thought it was great. I've always thought it was great. But yeah, that's the same thing. That's the seeing it through child's eyes.
Yeah, do you want? Let's just talk about the bad for a second, because we love Karate Kid 3. So it's sort of like, let's just acknowledge for people, like, we're not, you can see the flaws and still like it. The biggest flaw is that it's a cash grab. Okay, at the end of the day, like, it was made for money, and frankly, a lot of the key people involved didn't want to make it. Yeah. That's usually a bad, way to make something, and that leads to, a flawed outcome. And that's really, I think, why a lot of like the flaws and criticisms kind of ultimately come down from that reason. Compare that to Cobra Kai, which is a show that was not made for money. It was not made because Sony was trying to, how do we bring Karate Kid to the TV space? It was literally just John, Josh, and me. We were just like obsessed with, the Karate Kid movies, and talked about this idea for like, expanding on the Johnny character, and, we love Billy Zabka, and came up with this story. And we went to the studios with it. It says, original an idea as like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Like, nobody asked for either one, but it came out of like, the mind of a writer or writers. Karate Kid 3 did not happen that way. That was like a Columbia exec needed things on their slate, and that was an IP, and they just went to Robert and had Ralph under contract. So like it was made for the wrong reasons. But I think like an accidental pregnancy, or, things are made for the wrong reasons. Like, you have to accept the fact it became this living thing. And the reason I think it does work is because it has a lot of the DNA of the Karate Kid still in it. And I have to credit, Robert Mark Kamen, who, even though he did it for the money, he can't write a script without some of his talent seeping in. And the fact that he knew the characters and the franchise, he had a natural respect for it. So that's why when I said, like, I watched Karate Kid 3, it felt like it was an entry in the Karate Kid saga. Had they, like, when you watch Next Karate Kid, there's something a little off about it. I mean, from the font of at the beginning, and Conti's not there, so it's like, and it's not Avildsen. So, it's got Miyagi and it has Karate Kid feels in it, no question. But, you're in this era back then of people not caring about, entries in the franchise. Like, they'll just bring in new people, forget about things from the last entry. Like, what I love about Karate Kid 3, one thing is, like, it starts off with like Daniel's coming back home from Okinawa at LAX. Like, so it's like they're continuing that they care about the last entry. And so, I don't know, but bottom line is there's a lot of flaws, in the movie, and you can pick it apart, but for every flaw, there's something about it that's just like, that's awesome. And in addition to having those Karate Kid feels, it also has its own unique thing, which is Terry and Mike Barnes. We'll get into that.